Rivalry weekend begins in earnest in Chapel Hill, North Carolina on a gorgeous Friday afternoon, and a lot at stake for two teams that do not like each other very much and have a ton to play for this afternoon to get us going on Rivalry weekend. North Carolina and North Carolina State from Chapel Hill. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. As we talked about, plenty at stake for both of these teams in the 106th meeting all time between NC State and North Carolina. The to win today to get to a bowl game. They are 5-6. They've had chances all season long to win big games, but Dave Doran's team still one win away from bowl eligibility. Meanwhile, Larry Fedora's crew needs a win today, and they need Virginia Tech at home to lose to Virginia. That will clinch a second straight ACC Coastal Division Championship, and that will lock in a rematch against Clemson in the ACC title game. And with all of that on Rivalry weekend, this is no rival of mine. Adam Amin, Mac Brown, Molly McGrath will join us in a moment as well. But speaking of this matchup, you coached in this matchup for 10 years. You know what's unique to this particular game.
23 miles apart, don't like each other very much. It affects recruiting. It affects bragging rights. All of your boosters have to go see the NC State or the UNC guy in their office on Monday and say, how'd it go? How'd you like our team? And the other guy doesn't show up that week,
exactly,
Adam. It's important to beat your rival. Fun day of football.
Now, Mac Brown was part of this, as we said. You guys actually lost your first 5. But then when you guys really started to crank things up, they won the next 5 in this rivalry matchup. And 10 of those 105 meetings all time coming in, 66, 33, and 6. Since 1919, these teams have met each year except for 4 times. 3 times during World War II era and 1 time in 1952 when there was a polio outbreak on the Chapel Hill campus. But these two teams, very important game today, and they've got a lot to play for. When we talked with Dave Doran yesterday, he told us for his team, which is a 2-score underdog, they got to get back to basics. It sounds like some coach speak, but this is exactly what he pointed to us to try to win this game.
Yes, you got to run the ball to be effective. You got to limit your turnovers, and you got to put pressure on Trubisky. The North Carolina quarterback can't let him stand back there and have time to throw because he's just too accurate.
And Mitch Trubisky all of a sudden is shooting up draft boards as of the last couple of months. His accuracy is tremendously efficient. Why do you like him?
Well, I like him. He's tall. He stands tall in the pocket. He's confident. He is so accurate. He is your prototypical pro quarterback. But this is also his team. He's taken over with leadership, and I like what I see out of this young man on the field.
He is closing in on the all-time single-season passing record already. Remember, he's a first-time starter for this North Carolina offense. An emotional day, as you can imagine. Rivalry day, senior day. Molly McGrath has more on the field.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. There is no love lost between Elijah Hood and the Wolfpack. The Tar Heels running back telling me, I hate NC State. There's a lot of animosity between these two teams. We really just don't like each other. Now, Hood's message to the rest of his running backs is be as physical as possible, run angry, and use your tempo to wear down their defense bit by bit. Now, senior wide receiver Ryan Switzer told me that a fast start is necessary in an emotional game like this, admitting that keeping his emotions in check will be the biggest challenge for him on this senior day. And Switzer and the rest of the seniors personally voted on wearing these all-black jerseys for this rivalry game, just the second time in program history that they've worn all-black, guys.
On Black Friday, Molly, and we hope we can help you sitting at home nurse your turkey hangover with a big day of college football leading into Ohio State and Michigan on Saturday at noon on ABC as well. North Carolina State won the toss and deferred, and TJ Logan, the dangerous return man, will be avoided by the North Carolina State kicking unit, and instead Rontavious Groves gets hit shy of the 20-yard line by Freddie Phillips Jr. So as we mentioned, Mitch Trubisky closing in on several single-season records as a first-year starter who had to step in for Marquise Williams, 9th in the country in efficiency, 5th in the country in completion percentage. He's had 2 of the top 4 passing games in North Carolina history, and his team needs him to have a big performance today.
And you would love to get out to a quick start against your rival, because it just sends a message, guys, we are ready to play today.
We'll start this drive from the 16-yard line, beginning the 106th meeting all time between Carolina and NC State. And Trubisky seeking space and a good run on first down to the 23-yard line. He'll pick up 7 on first down. Larry Fedora, in his 5th season as the head coach of North Carolina, has done a fantastic job, especially the last couple of years, of getting this Carolina offense going. And Trubisky has slid right in to the quarterback position left by Williams, and is picked up right where Williams left off. Option play, and on first down here is Elijah Hood, who had the big game against NC State last year. He's got the first down, pounded out at the 28 by Dravius Wright, the nickelback in North Carolina State's 4-2-5 defense.
Adam, we've had 2 plays and 2 runs. Trubisky hurt him with the feet. Fedora's doing such a tremendous job, and he said this week, we're going to come out and run the ball and be physical.
Put in the backfield on first down and 10 from the 28-yard line. Off the play action fake, Trubisky off his back foot for Switzer, and it's overthrown with the coverage of Josh Jones, one of the better defensive players for North Carolina State. In coverage, Mac on this side of the ball, who sticks out to you?
Well, running back Elijah Hood's fast. He's powerful. He can take over a game. In fact, he had 220 yards last year against this NC State team. Bradley Chubb, big defensive end, moved from linebacker. He's got linebacker speed and quickness. He's really quick off the ball, has lateral movement. He'll be putting pressure on Trubisky all day.
So with Switzer in motion, a read option, and Trubisky slips a tackle. And Mitch Trubisky, a big-bodied quarterback, all the way down inside the North Carolina State 40-yard line. It's a 34-yard run for Mitch Trubisky, closing in on a career long.
This is zone read. They had a little motion to get some eyes out of the way, and they lost eye discipline on defense. Trubisky's not normally a runner. 2 of the first 3 plays, he runs the ball.
And another play action fake, and running away from his arm side, an NFL throw to the sideline, caught by Bug Howard. He'll pick up 4 yards as he was submarined by Wright.
Really interesting 3 straight runs at him. Then we have a little run pass fake where you fake it off tackle. Quarterback moves out to the side. North Carolina's hitting on all cylinders here early in this ball game.
And to the sideline went Wright, getting checked out after that play for North Carolina State. This is a top 40 scoring offense for North Carolina this year. And Larry Fedora has put together 3 of the best offensive seasons in North Carolina history in his tenure already. On the ground, it's Hood picking up a couple of yards, and that'll set up a manageable 3rd down and medium situation as Monty Nelson made the stop.
And there's some head games early in this game, because when you're talking about the defensive front of NC State, they're really, really good. They're first in the ACC against the run. They're 4th in the country. These guys are strong up front, and North Carolina is saying, we're going to take you at your strength and beat you at it by running the ball.
North Carolina 2nd in the conference in converting on 3rd down, but Trubisky sees pressure, and down he goes. The front of North Carolina State has been a strength, led by B.J. Hill and Justin Jones on the inside.
It always concerns you as an offensive coordinator when they can rush 4. Had a little game inside when they had a little X stunt with the 2 inside guys, but they both get to the quarterback. Really good stop by NC State.
And that likely takes them out of Nick Weiler's long field goal range. So Tom Sheldon, the 28-year-old freshman from Australia, the left-footed punter, will kick away. No return on this one as it goes towards the sidelines near the 10-yard line and out of bounds. So Sheldon will pin North Carolina State deep. And now it's time for North Carolina State's offense to take the field. Ranked 9th in the ACC in scoring. And Ryan Finley, the transfer from Boise State. He's such an interesting case because he graduated college in 3 years at Boise State, but never really got a chance to play much because of a lot of injuries, plus a redshirt year. So he's a graduate sophomore who's a first-time starter.
Yes, I talked to Brian Harsin. He hurt a shoulder. He redshirted. He hurt a shoulder. Then he broke an ankle and just never had an opportunity to play. So even though he is a graduate and he's been around for a while, he's still growing up and learning all of the things in and out about the NC State offense.
Eli Drinkwitz was with Brian Harsin at Boise State. He was with Finley. He's now the offensive coordinator for Finley at North Carolina State. Off play action on first down. Ryan Finley arching one, and it's overthrown. Looking for Maurice Troell, a redshirt sophomore out of nearby Durham, North Carolina.
And when we talked to Drinkwitz this week, the offensive coordinator over at NC State, he said we've got to run the ball, but we've got to win at least 50% of our deep throws. They're 0 for 1 on that one. He had a chance. Got to complete those deep ones.
So Finley checks out of the game, and Jalen McClendon, who did a very good job running the football as a Wildcat quarterback in the Hurricane Matthew game against Notre Dame, is on the field. He can throw the ball a little bit too, and he'll swing it out from Matt Days. He is scary in space, and Matt Days has the first down out across the 25. Run down by Dominique Green after 18 yards.
It looked like North Carolina had it covered. They had a guy on the flare, but he was a little bit deeper. It was a really, really good throw. They had the end dropping off, and Carney just didn't take the right angle to the ball.
Malik Carney, that's 53 off the edge, went too far inside and lost Matt Days. So fresh set of downs and back to the ground for Matt Days. We showed you that graphic. 21 of the last 24 meetings between these two teams, the winner has had more rushing yards. Last year, North Carolina outrushed NC State 374 to 308. Still a pretty good day for Dave Doran's team. The year before that, in an NC State blowout win, they rushed for 388.
Sounds like coach speak, but it really works, Adam.
It's funny when coach speak actually translates, as it often does, right?
Well, that's why coaches use it.
That's why coaches use it, exactly. On 2nd and 5, quick throw to Days in the flat, and a good catch at the 41 for a first down with a linebacker and Andre Smith covering. 7 yards to move the sticks. Good rhythm on both offenses so far. A pretty good catch by Matt Days.
That's a very good catch. He is as good a receiver out of the backfield as they have.
This is a backwards pass for Jalen Samuels, and it's caught. He's going to go. Stephon Lewis. Jalen Samuels does it again. The Swiss Army knife with a 59-yard pass to Lewis. And North Carolina State's on the board first on the road.
Adam, Dave Doran told us they were come out and play free, have fun, because they've been so close. Quick throw out to Samuels. Samuels throws it deep, wide open receiver, and Luis goes easily in for the score. This is a nightmare start for Larry Fedora. Not what he wanted. He lost points with a sack on the other end, and now gives up a quick touchdown to NC State.
A team that is desperate for a win, needing a win to get to a bowl game. Connor Haskins on for the extra point. And a 7-0 start for North Carolina State, and it didn't take long. They call Samuels the Swiss Army knife. He can play fullback, he can play tight end, he can play tailback. And this time on the trick play, he finds the big play threat, Stephon Lewis. Wolfpack on top to start.
7-0 North Carolina State leads in Chapel Hill. We are experiencing some technical difficulties at Kenan Memorial Stadium right now. As soon as those are processed and fixed, we will take you right back to Chapel Hill. Currently a 7-0 North Carolina State lead on UNC.
All right, North Carolina State up 14-0 on North Carolina in their rivalry game. First quarter, we're having some technical difficulties with the broadcast. We will get you back out to Chapel Hill as soon as we get those difficulties sorted out. We're back up and rolling in Chapel Hill. Let's send you back out to check out the game with Adam Amin and Mac Brown.
Stan, thank you so much. Sincerely apologize for any technical difficulties. Obviously, we appreciate you guys holding it down in studio. I know you missed Mac, but I'm happy to steal him on this Friday. What you've missed so far, it was a 7-0 North Carolina State lead, which you saw in that Jalen Samuels pass, the trick play to Stephon Lewis. Mitch Trubisky had a issue on a snap and a handoff on the mesh point on a zone read play. It was recovered by Bradley Chubb, and North Carolina State banged it in for a touchdown with Matt Days. UNC had a pass interference penalty, give them a fresh set of downs on their last drive, but could not do anything with it in NC State territory. And after all of that, another UNC punt, and that's what you're looking at right now. Jalen Samuels running it for 8 yards, tackled by Cole Holcomb. So you are all caught up. It's a 14-0 lead right now for North Carolina State inside of 5 minutes to play for this first quarter, and we've been keeping an eye on this obviously the entire time. Are you surprised with a 14-0 start on the road for NC State?
Well, you're never surprised in a rivalry game, but NC State got nothing to lose. They're trying to get to a bowl game. They're playing free like their coach told us. They are running the ball. They've been the more physical team, Adam, in this first quarter. That's what the coach told us he wanted to do.
On first down, it's back to Matt Days on the ground with a spin move that will get his forward progress just past the 20, running into Andre Smith on a gain of 4.
You know, they're getting pressure on Trubisky with a 4-man rush, so they can drop more people and play defense. And also they're running the ball on offense, which sets up play action pass deep. So right now, Carolina's got to get excited and turn this thing around.
State, a flea flicker for Finley, going downfield, and he's got a man. Cole Cook with a penalty marker thrown. Cook inside the 10-yard line. Will check the marker back at the 32-yard line.
Holding, number 86, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
The North Carolina State holding penalty will wipe this one out. Thaddeus Moss got tagged for it.
When a play takes that long, they've got a trick play, it worked, but when it takes so long that you got to try to run the ball up inside, have the tailback pitch it back, flea flickerish, and throw it deep, then what happens? You have to keep protection so long that a guy like a tight end who gets overpowered uses his hands and pulls him down. That's a huge penalty against NC State.
Would have been a 45-yarder for Cole Cook, who did not play in their loss to Miami. He is a big part of their running game and ended up being a big part of that pass on another trick play. Remember, Jalen Samuels on a double pass had a touchdown earlier in this quarter. So now it's second down and long for North Carolina State. Fake the jet sweep and dump it off into the flat. And Matt Days spinning off a tackle, and DJ Ford, making MJ Stewart, was able to shut down the play. Days still picked up 11 yards to set up a short situation on third down.
And if you're Dave Doran, you treat this like a bowl game because you don't have another game unless you win today. They're pulling out all the stops at them, and they're hitting on all cylinders on offense right now.
Big third down and 1 for Dave Doran's crew here. 42% on the season is 8th in the ACC. And a big hole opens up for a first down for Days. This guy's an underrated runner, came into this game 3rd in the conference in rushing behind Dalvin Cook and Lamar Jackson, 2 names that have been in the Heisman mix all year.
And 3 things are happening right now for NC State. They want to be physical. The more physical team they are. They're running the ball so well. And then they're staying on the field, and they needed time of possession. All of the things they wanted in this first drive, they're getting, or first quarter, they're getting.
This is an ideal first quarter offensively, really, for both sides for NC State. Here's Days, good blocking on the perimeter, and he turns it into a good first down run of 5, where Andre Smith was there for the stop for UNC, and he lost his helmet on the play. So Smith will have to come off the field for a play. He's their starting middle linebacker, and Aiden Bonilla, redshirt sophomore, will check in.
And Adam, sometimes I thought senior day was a negative. They're thinking about their dreams and all the time they've had here. Their parents are out there. They're crying before the game. I said, heck, win the game, cry after the game. Don't cry before. North Carolina got to wake up here.
Back to the ground, as it has been the case more often than not so far. Gillespie was chopped down by Cole Holcomb after a yard. That'll set up third down and 4 here for North Carolina State in the final minute of this opening quarter, where they've gotten off to a fantastic start.
3rd and 4 here. You've got your backs, both in Samuels and Days, that can catch the ball out of the backfield. You might see the quarterback moving. You could see a screen. North Carolina bringing forward.
They brought the pressure on the look initially and then dropped it back, and it's incomplete. Looking for Braylon Cherry. Donnie Miles, one of the experienced secondary players, had the coverage on Finley's throw.
One of the concerns that the coaches have had with Finley is sometimes he gets a little anxious and he will not let the play develop. I thought he got that one out of his hands a little too quickly. So looking for a fake here.
Yep, A.J. Cole is back there. He's got a punt to the very dangerous Ryan Switzer. And he'll just overshoot him. It'll end up being a net punt of 31 yards. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. An outstanding start for North Carolina State on the road. They need a win to get to a bowl. North Carolina needs a win and some help to make the ACC Championship game. Start of the second quarter, 14-0 North Carolina State leads, and Mitch Trubisky goes back to work through the air. Just a four-man rush puts pressure on Trubisky. The pass is incomplete. And Molly, that defensive line has been very impressive. And again, four-man pressure got to him that time.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. The defense was fired up before marching out onto the field. And the message to the defensive line was their quarterback is having too much room to dance around the pocket. You can't let him extend plays like that. He wants his guys to get up in a two-point stance, get to Trubisky faster. And the coaches also want to see more physicality from their defense, so they are not letting up, Adam.
Very good defensive line coach and Ryan Nielsen for NC State. Toss play, TJ Logan. And the senior out of Greensboro gets hit by Travius Wright after a pickup of 3. Now 3rd down at 7.
Well, if you're Larry Fedora, you start over. You didn't get your quick start. And you look at what Eli Drinkwitz has done, who came in from Boise. He's running the Boise offense. They're being physical, trying to get back. But this is a pitch sweep that gained 10 yards to start the game.
Trubisky under pressure from Wright and still completed the pass. Here's Switzer in the open field and into North Carolina State territory. Mitch Trubisky stood in there, took the hit, but still Switzer was able to make the grab for 28.
When people are wondering why this guy could be a first-round draft choice, he sat in there under tremendous pressure and took a hit as he threw it to Switzer that time.
That's the nickelback Travius Wright. Back to Switzer in the flat, and Travius Wright runs him out after a gain of 3 to the 46-yard line.
And that's the kind of play, Adam, that can get you started. Now they come back, fake the run. They've got more rhythm on offense. You've got to try to get some life in your team and get confidence. And these last 2 plays should really help North Carolina.
Ryan Switzer, the all-time leading pass catcher in North Carolina history, passed Quinshot Davis earlier this season for the most receptions in UNC history. Trubisky had the run-pass option there. He'll give it to Logan, who runs in the middle linebacker, Jared Fernandez. Redshirt junior and the second leading tackler stops him after 4.
And you see that Larry Fedora is not going to panic. He's going to run the ball. He's going to keep the same offense, but they need to get points on this drive. Big 3rd down.
A team that averages 34 points per game. Held scoreless in the opening quarter today.
Checking at the line of scrimmage.
Again, just a 4-man rush. Trubisky with time, and he finds Austin Prohl, but he cannot hold on. It would have been good for a 1st down. Mike Stevens had the coverage, but Austin Prohl just could not corral it cleanly. Trubisky saying, hey, keep the offense out of the field, but the kicking unit's coming.
Very unusual for Prohl to drop the ball. He's their best route runner. He's such a good ball catcher. He runs the route. He gets separation inside, took his eyes off, looked a little bit upfield. And now, if you're Larry, you're going to punt the ball deep because you don't want to give them a short field. Play defense. Try to get them backed up.
North Carolina leads the country in punt return defense. The longest return against them this year has been just 3 yards. A good one from Sheldon, and a touchback is ruled. It broke the plane. Good effort by MJ Stewart to try to stay all the way in play, but that broke the plane, and it will be a touchback. Larry Fedora's football team in a really good stretch the last couple of seasons, but they need a win today and some help from Virginia to get to the ACC Championship game, and they're down early. North Carolina State back to work. Finley for Lewis. North Carolina territory, and Lewis still on his feet inside the 35. Inside the 30, a 1st down in Tar Heel territory. It's a 53-yard pass play to Stephon Lewis.
They brought Stewart off the corner. It was really good pressure, but Days did a great job at running back, stepping up. Perfect throw and catch, big 1st down. It's bad that North Carolina's defense gave up field position, but now they've got to have a stop. They don't need to go down 3 scores.
So now a rare play for the Wolfpack in Tar Heel territory. This is only their 5th play on the opposite side of the field, yet they're the ones with the lead. It's Days with a nice cutback, and he turns what could have been a loss into a hard-earned 3-yard gain. Mikey Bart forced him back to the inside, but could not make a stop in the backfield.
It was very good defense. He tried to bounce it outside. They created an edge where he couldn't, made him turn up inside, and then all your tacklers can gang tackle.
If he gets past Mikey Bart, that might be a 5-6, maybe a longer run. So you'll take 3 on a play like that because Mikey Bart, the senior, did his job.
Absolutely. Turn him up. You got to help inside. You don't have much help outside.
Pitch to the outside, and Days looking for a hole, gets ripped down by DeJuan Drennan at the 19-yard line. A big spill from Days to set up 3rd down and 2. And the formerly injured Drennan making the stop.
They're getting Days with his speed on the corner. Faked it inside. He plants the foot. He turns up. Really good job.
Right back to Days on the ground, and he's got the 1st down. Perhaps. No, that looked like he was short. Andre Smith made the stop. The line to gain was the 17, and I think that spot will end up being maybe a yard short. Thought he had lunged forward instead. 4th down and 1 for North Carolina State.
Yeah, NC State's been up and down with their kicking game. You're trying to get to a bowl game. You're on the road. It's a rival. You go for it on 4th down. They'll probably try to pull the UNC defense off first, and if not, give the ball to your best player, Days, up inside.
It is Days taking the direct snap, and now he's got the 1st down and more. Matt Days on his feet to the end zone. Touchdown Wolfpack. Matt Days doing it all.
There's penetration up inside by Andre Smith. He misses the tackle. Days is a tough runner. He's got a low balance. Takes it all the way in for the score.
He's averaging 5 yards a pop on the ground, and he's already banged in 2 touchdowns today. North Carolina State, a 2-score underdog coming into Chapel Hill on the road in a rivalry game. You know, the old cliche, throw the record books out the window because Dave Doran's crew is getting a huge performance in the 1st half. Gene Chizik, the defensive coordinator for North Carolina, has improved his defense in his 2 seasons. Eli Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator for North Carolina State, was on Chizik's 2010 Auburn National Championship staff as a quality control assistant for Gus Malzahn. TJ Logan down at the 26-yard line, and down to Molly we go.
NC State was fired up after that last drive. Stephon Lewis jawing back and forth with the UNC crowd, talking trash to the fans, standing on a bench. Matt Days, though, very quiet, keeping to himself, only telling his teammates, don't get tired, keep up the aggression, Adam.
Is it easy, Mac, to kind of get emotionally spent? I know it's a huge performance so far by NC State. Is it easy to maybe get a little spent because you're so hyped up for a game like this?
Absolutely, and this one's long from over, so NC State better keep that mouth shut. Quit talking to the fans, start looking to the field. If Coach Doran sees him, he'll have Luis looking back out at the field. And we're going to see Larry Fedora keep doing what he's doing. He's got to stir him up. You just change, probably go a little faster tempo.
Trubisky, off-target throw for the leading completion percentage man of the ACC, looking for Switzer.
And Adam, North Carolina needs to stay on the field. NC State's had it 11 minutes to 8:30. And that was one of the keys for this ball game. Stay on the field. And so far, it's not happening for North Carolina. Got to make some 1st downs.
And Mitch Trubisky, and by the way, it's not all his fault, going 6 of 11 so far. He's had some drops from receivers. And we've seen some odd throws from a guy who has been sparkling this year in terms of completion percentage at 70%, 5th in the country.
And NC State's just playing base defense. Yeah. They're not blitzing a lot.
They're brushing forward pretty much every time. Like here, and still forcing Trubisky up in the pocket. He'll slide down at the 30 is where the slide began. That's where they'll mark it after a 4-yard play.
The street forced him out, but really good job by Fernandez of going up and making him slide short of the 1st down. So this is a huge 3rd down for North Carolina. They'll be throwing the ball. It'll probably be option routes. I would think it was inside because it'll be man coverage outside. NC State's going to come with 3.
Just a 3-man rush. Switzer underneath. He was hit shy of the sticks by Arius Moore. They needed the 36, and Moore was there to stop him at the 35. The 3rd leading tackler on the team with a clutch stop on Ryan Switzer, and down 21-0 here in the 1st half. Larry Fedora is going to bring his punting unit out again.
Well, this is a great place for a fake, but things aren't going well. So I would think that we'll see Coach Fedora probably go ahead and punt the ball.
He's got one of the best punters in the ACC in Tom Sheldon. Low snap, pressure got there, but he was able to boom one away to help flip the field. Braylon Cherry down at the 20. 47-yard punt, short return. And let's see if North Carolina's defense gets going, because they have not been able to stop the pack just yet. North Carolina State from the 20-yard line. And the ball gets knocked away from Nyheim Hines, and North Carolina gets the play it needed on defense. Hines could not hold on. It was knocked away by Smith, and M.J. Stewart comes out of the pack with it for the Tar Heels.
That's such a key play for North Carolina's defense. They still got blocked. It's a concern. He's running downfield. Let's see if he was down. Looks like the ball popped out, but it's going to be close with that knee. Let's look right here quickly.
Yep.
Ball's out.
Ball's certainly out.
Ball's out. NC State got to run the ball, got to take care of the ball, got to pressure Trubisky. So far, they're doing all three of those. First-time turnover, short field for North Carolina's offense.
A crucial play for the Tar Heel defense, which had not been able to stop NC State. Now Trubisky takes over at the +33. An off-play action under pressure. Trubisky wheeling and dealing, and it's incomplete at the feet of his intended target. With the pressure from Justin Jones, could not get it to Hood. Cleveland.
A lot of people think this front four is the best front four in the ACC. They're putting a lot of pressure on with just 4 guys, and when you can do that, you can drop the other 7, and it makes it a whole lot easier to defend the pass.
Watch number 9 all day. Bradley Chubb. His cousin is Nick, who played against North Carolina and ran for a big day in the opening game of the season. He's been coming off the edge. That time Elijah Hood with the drop. It should be a forward pass incomplete, and indeed that is the case.
Ruling on the field is a forward incomplete pass. 3rd down.
And what's happening now, Adam, they're pressing.
Yeah.
They're pressing. They know it. Coach Fedora is saying, I didn't see this coming, so come on, guys. Catch the ball. That's the 4th drop of the game for North Carolina.
So while Trubisky's 7 of 14 right now, the drops have been crucial. Speaking of which, Hines, his fumble has given North Carolina this field position. Can they do anything with it? They'll go to the ground and Hood. And Elijah Hood picks up the 1st down. 20-yard run on 3rd down and 10, down to the 13-yard line.
Really good block by 6'6", 325-pound R.J. Prince as he gets the sweep on the boundary. Be physical, run the ball.
Right back to Hood on the ground, breaking tackles, and he's close to the sticks. Down to the 4-yard line where Fernandez closed him out. 9 more yards for Elijah Hood. Seeing some of the tempo that North Carolina likes to go with when they're in a good offensive groove. Play fake. Trubisky, end zone, touchdown Switzer, and North Carolina's on the board.
Best way to get momentum back, run the ball, then you fake it inside, take it outside, you throw it to your senior and your leading receiver in school history, Switzer.
And that swinging gate look, well, more of a spread look here, really, with the holder and the kicker out there. Weiler is the kicker, kind of lined up as a running back, and it'll be called off by Joey Mangili, the holder. Nick Weiler, the excellent kicker, who's only missed 1 point after all season long, had that game-winning field goal from 54 against Florida State in the upset over the Seminoles this year. Carolina got the takeaway. Trubisky cashes in with a touchdown to Switzer. A drive that North Carolina needed after Hines fumbled a carry on the last NC State drive. He is a good return man. He set up a good Tar Heel field position on the last touch. Good kick by Weiler out of the back of the end zone. And out to the 25 will come NC State. Ryan Finley back to work from the 25 for the Wolfpack. Finley on the keep, running along the edge, takes a pop after picking up about 3. Holcomb and Drennan, both hard-hitting backers and ends, were there for the stop.
And if you're UNC's defense, you forced the fumble. Offense took momentum from it. Now you've got to stop the run and start forcing Finley to throw the ball downfield.
Finley off. Jalen McClendon will check in. Typically the Wildcat quarterback who can toss it. He's got a lead block from Cole Cook, but good penetration by the Tar Heel defense, and Jeremiah Clark with a tackle for loss.
That's what has to happen. You got to penetrate to stop the running game. Clark gets penetration. It's a quarterback sweep with the young quarterback McClendon coming in. Now this is a huge 3rd down. What will North Carolina do? You're going to put pressure. Are you going to drop? Normally on 3rd down, they're going to come. Looks like they're playing man, going to play with 4. Rush 4, rushing 5.
With a spy there as well. That spy was Smith, who got taken out, but Matt Days lost the football, being punched around, and still loose back to midfield. Stewart was on the bottom of the pile, and who ended up with it after the scrum? Side judge is saying Tar Heel football. And things got to get shut down here by the officials right now, because after a wild play like that, you expect tensions to rise, and now the bench will clear from both sides. Flags have been thrown. Benches have partially cleared. Pushing and shoving on both ends, and the officials have to get it sorted out after a wild play like that.
Now we have a rival game.
Yes, sir. There's an official with his hat off, which typically means there was a flag thrown, and then he wanted to throw another flag for a penalty. Mac Hollins is trying to get the North Carolina crowd pumped up, the injured senior. Turned into a very quick,
Really on
wild
the field
outburst.
was a fumble recovered by the defense. It'll be 1st down and 10 for North Carolina. There are multiple offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct fouls on both teams. Number 97 for North Carolina is disqualified for throwing a punch. 1st down.
Jalen Dalton threw a punch, so he has been disqualified from this game. Let's sort all of this out. It was a
previous
fumble
play is under further review.
Ruled by Matt Days. Was it a completion first and foremost? Did he make a move come into the game with possession up the field?
A lot of things happening on that sideline right now.
Yeah, and again, the replay booth still has to say whether or not this was an incomplete pass. This was the post-mortem of all of it. This thing got banged around about 20 yards downfield, and it ended up being MJ Stewart on the bottom of the pile with the football. And while the fracas was happening, Stewart actually took the football and kind of zipped it towards his own sideline to say, hey, we still have the football. It was Matt Days who fumbled the football. And then watch 97, Dalton, you saw it. He just threw a fist at Prescott of North Carolina State. That's what got Jalen Dalton tossed out of this game. Whether you want to call it a forceful punch or not, it was a fist to the head, to the helmet. That's enough to rule that a punch. Larry Fedora was trying to pull his guy in Jalen Dalton back towards the sideline after he saw a stupid mistake like that in a heated moment.
Yeah. Do not come on that field.
After further review, the pass was incomplete. It will be 4th down and 11 at the 24-yard line. Please set the game clock to 6:59. 6:59 on the game clock, and start it on my signal, please.
Well done all around. Unfortunate to see a kid get ejected for doing something stupid, which he should not have done, and he rightfully deserves to be thrown out. Jalen Dalton gets tagged with that. Unfortunate for him and for North Carolina's defense. The replay booth handled that exceptionally well. Credit to David Galloway, the replay official, and Stuart Mullins and the crew for trying to break all that up as soon as possible. Those are big-bodied boys getting after it with all the officials.
Well, and good for both coaches out there trying to stop the fight in the middle of the field. Larry Fedora pulling his guys back. David Doran trying to hit his back. Very emotional day for players and coaches.
On my signal.
And now Ryan Switzer, after all of
The clock
that.
will start on the snap.
He steps up, 7 punt return touchdowns in his career, none this year, but 1 more will tie the NCAA record held by Antonio Perkins at Oklahoma and Wes Welker at Texas Tech. This guy is a scary good return man. A.J. Cole has to kick to him.
I wouldn't punt it to him.
Good hang time, enough to force the fair catch. Well done by Cole. And that... Well, Stan Verran and Mark Mayer back in the studios. After this break, they'll bring you all the latest news and scores on the Lexus Halftime Report.
Coach, a very emotional game. Things got chippy in the second quarter there. How do you like your team's composure so far?
Well, we can't leave the bench like that. I mean, it's a rivalry game. There's a lot of emotion involved, as you mentioned, and we just got to stay within where we can be physical. That's between the whistles.
Matt Days with a huge first half. What do you want to see from your offense when you get the ball back in the second half?
Just drive it up and down the field and score touchdowns, finish drives. We had to protect the ball. I mean, the only momentum they got was off a turnover we gave them, so we just got to take care of the football.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Back in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, you're watching the ACC on ESPN. Tremendously important game in this rivalry contest between North Carolina State and North Carolina. The Wolfpack got off to the 21-0 start. They get the ball to start half number 2 with a 21-7 lead. Welcome you back to the broadcast booth at Kenan Memorial. Adam Amin, Mac Brown, Molly McGrath will join us in a moment as well. So the things that Dave Doran talked to us about, getting back to the basics, looks like all the basics were covered in that first half.
Yes, he's winning the line of scrimmage for sure. They're getting so much pressure with their front 4 on defense without bringing extra guys. And then they act like they're going to bring 5. They disguised it, pulled out, got Ryan Switzer short of a first down on a big third down. They're also stopping North Carolina on first down. North Carolina's got to make some yards early.
Yeah, we're going to see if they can get going offensively. Mitch Trubisky had a lot of drops from his receivers, still closing in on the single-season passing record as well, but he had a rough first half. He still needs 164 more yards to get there. A lot of hype around Mitch Trubisky, and rightfully so, with how efficient he's been all season long, shooting up draft boards and things of that nature, but he'll have to wait his turn as NC State will be on offense to start. So now Weiler kicks to Nyheim Hines from the 7-yard line. Hines will dive ahead to the 29-yard line. Pitch play to Gillespie, and he's got a hole. The seam for a good run on first down. Picks up about 9 as Andre Smith makes the tackle about a yard shy of the line to gain.
And Mickey Bart's there. He just couldn't make the play. They've got to continue to stop the run. They can't allow NC State to take this down and get 7 points.
Back to the ground again. Gillespie with that second effort able to surge ahead. Naz Jones, we haven't talked about a whole lot today. Very good defensive lineman, made the initial hit, but a good surge by the sophomore out of High Point, North Carolina.
And Naz is a 6'5", 300-pounder. He's really good up inside at stopping the run, and he's slippery enough to get to the passer.
Gillespie again. Nothing much there. That time a good job by the front of North Carolina to stretch that play out for minimal gain.
We were talking about it, Adam. You always take the blocker on with your inside arm. You keep your outside arm free and turn everybody up, and Jeremiah Clark did that on that play.
North Carolina's defense has improved each year under Gene Chizik. They've done it this year without the big takeaway numbers. Only 1 interception all year for North Carolina's defense. And this looks like a passing set.
Like they may come.
They're bringing some pressure. Quick throw to Lewis. Hit in the open field by Corey Bell Jr., but Lewis able to muscle to midfield to set up 3rd down and 2.
Another good throw by Finley. Got it out of his hands quickly. It's just a hitch route to the outside. He throws it in the perfect spot away from the defender. And then big Luis trying to stretch for the first down.
Go back to the Wildcat look here. Matt Days.
They're lined up wrong.
They look for the direct snap, and Days surges forward for the first down. What'd you see there, Mac?
Well, there are too many people lined up to the field, and I even think they're probably looking to try to call timeout on the boundary for North Carolina. But they had a field defense, and they got confused, and then quick snap for NC State, fake the speed sweep to the field, and Days turns it up for a first down.
Yeah, the black jerseys were much more numerous on the far side, the wider side of the field, and Days went to the short side to pick up the yardage.
A lot of times that's a read. He just decided smartly to keep it.
Eli Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator, dialing one up to throw. Finley looking downfield for the freshman Kelvin Harmon. Des Lawrence had the coverage that time.
Good coverage by Des Lawrence because he's looking back at the ball. They're not going to call it much when you start looking at Harmon, the big tall freshman. They like him deep, but he was reaching for the ball. Good first down stop by North Carolina.
And now McClendon is back in at quarterback. Draw play, and McClendon on the design run gets hammered by DeJuan Drennan after a gain of about 3 yards. 3rd down and 7. Holcomb and Drennan have put big hits North Carolina State players all day so far. 3rd down and medium to long.
Yeah, we're back to another 3rd down situation. They've got to try to stay on the field. North Carolina's got to get them off. Last week, NC State had trouble on 3rd down against Miami. Another big play in this ball game. Got to throw the ball downfield here, probably again to your slot, number 7, or you take a shot deep.
They're showing pressure.
They're coming with all of them.
Cornerback blitz. Finley steps up, finds a man, 1st down inside the 25, and Jacoby Myers is down at the 23. 12th catch for the freshman, 19 yards with the pressure in the face of Ryan Finley.
All out blitz. Andre Smith, number 10, back there. You can't miss the tackle on the quarterback. Give him a chance to still throw the ball.
Now they'll swing it out to Myers once again. Back-to-back catches, and he's able to get past Cole Holcomb, and he's all the way down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Wolfpack.
A great job by Finley on the previous play of stepping around Smith, throwing the ball downfield. That's what you got to do as a quarterback, stay alive.
How about Jacoby Myers out of Georgia, former quarterback in high school, turning into a wide receiver at North Carolina State.
A lot of momentum now with NC State.
Yep.
They've taken the momentum back over.
Now Finley's going to go line up wide.
Wildcat.
Days will get the direct snap here, and Matt Days puts a shoulder into Andre Smith. Down to the 4, and it's 2nd and goal.
I like what we've seen out of Eli Drinkwitz today. He's given a lot of different looks. He's run it. He's thrown play action. He's thrown deep. He's mixed the Wildcat in well. He's substituted McClendon in and out well. They've had a good plan.
And they stick with Matt Days for the direct snap here. He's already got 2 touchdowns on the day. He gives it to Samuel, and Jalen Samuels is in for a touchdown. Another one on the ground for North Carolina State. They're up by 3 scores again.
This is a play Eli Drinkwitz brought from Boise. You fake it on the speed sweep, run it off tackle. You fake it on the speed sweep, run it off tackle. Then all of a sudden you give it to Samuels, and he outruns the corner.
To cap off an 85-yard, 14-play drive after North Carolina had a successful onside kick negated due to a block penalty. Blocking before the ball went 10 yards downfield. And North Carolina State puts together an impressive offensive drive. They've rushed for 197 yards against North Carolina. That always bodes well in a rivalry game. And the team that has run for more yards in this matchup has won 21 of the last 24 meetings. North Carolina State with nearly 200 yards on the ground. Dangerous kickoff return man is TJ Logan. He's got it from inside his own 10. And he'll work his way out near the 30-yard line. Switzer again. He's got a 1st down, sliding at the 30. The all-time leading pass catcher for the Tar Heels with a couple of grabs to get him out into good territory.
Still not out of the game when you move the ball as quickly and as well as North Carolina. If you're NC State, you got to be careful and not get too soft and vanilla and let them throw the ball downfield easily.
Play action fake. Trubisky. A little miscommunication with Prohl. Prohl was coming back to the ball, and Trubisky wanted to go deep.
And Adam, we're not going to see many runs for North Carolina now. That's going to be a heavy pass load. You're only going to run or run a screen running play just to slow down that four-man rush up front. Five-man line for NC State.
And we haven't seen a ton of that over the course today.
It's like they're going to bring him.
Kind of a run blitz look as TJ Logan has the toss and the first down. Driven out of bounds by Josh Jones. Good seal along the edge for the Tar Heel offense.
Yeah, good check by Trubisky. They brought the linebackers up inside, and you had Fernandez inside. Brandon Fritz, number 82, with a really good block on the corner. Good check.
Ryan Switzer back in the game for North Carolina in the slot. Four-man rush again for the Tar Heels. It gets to Trubisky, and it's incomplete for Bug Howard. Darian Roseborough was in the face of Trubisky again with that four-man rush, and he could not connect cleanly with Howard.
Four-man rush has put pressure on Trubisky all day. He made an outstanding throw that time across his body, across the field, just a little bit high to a tall Howard.
Trubisky again, setting up the screen. Logan drilled. Good play by Niles Clark to close out the quarter. NC State needing a win to get to a bowl game in this 106th meeting between the Wolfpack and the Tar Heels. They've had the pep in their step. They've been the fiery team from the start of this ball game here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. They need a win to go to a bowl. North Carolina needs a comeback for the ages in this rivalry to even have a chance at the ACC Championship Game. Fourth quarter coming up. And handling a lot of different arenas of the facilities. Switzer slipped, and he made the grab at the 25-yard line. In that Peach Bowl, your team was down 14-0 at the halftime break. They came back to win. UNC needs a comeback for the ages if they want to stay in contention for the ACC Championship Game. They get 55 yards on one of their best plays of the day there. Just another four-man rush. Trubisky with time. Switzer again inside the 10 in front of Josh Jones. The all-time leading receiver in North Carolina history is stepping up now. Still limping around on the field.
And if you're Dave Doran, you're trying to keep from getting these guys in a position where they say, oh, no, not again. We've had so many close calls. So you got to step up and make a stop. Two really good plays by Trubisky.
And again, Switzer comes off the field. On the ground, TJ Logan, the senior, down after a short gain. Grabbed by B.J. Hill. Second down and goal for North Carolina.
And Adam, you're not kicking field goals now. It's 4 downs. So you still got 3 downs to score from the 7-yard line. You can run or throw. Got your whole game plan.
Play fake. Trubisky. Low throw, sliding. Thomas Jackson for the touchdown. North Carolina much needed. His 4th of the season, 2-score game. Thomas Jackson has touchdowns against Florida State, Virginia, Duke, and now against North Carolina State, and that one was maybe one of the biggest ones of his season. So that'll take us to a timeout. That was a much needed score for Larry Fedora's crew. They were down 21 points to start this game. They're within 14, as close as they've been since that early surge from the pack. Welcome back to ESPN's Rivalry Series presented by Jiffy Lube. Ryan Switzer, who was injured at one point on the drive, was back on and had 86 of the 89 reception yards on the drive from Mitch Trubisky. And we go down to the sidelines and check in with Molly McGrath.
Yeah, Adam, Switzer limped off, doubled over in pain. It looked like he was crying, and he was very emotional. Now, you remember medical training staff tended to a right foot injury earlier in the half. UNC doesn't release his injury info, but he can't even fully put weight on that right foot, so not looking good for Switzer, Adam.
Thanks very much, Maya. That's a crucial crucial thing to keep an eye out for Ryan Switzer, who's been targeted 13 times today.
And Adam, for NC State, Dave Doran had them ready to play. They've had a great game plan. They've got to continue to be aggressive now. They can't back off and just try to kill the clock. 14 points is not enough. So go back and just be you. He said play free. They've done that. They'll need to do that here late fourth quarter.
Naheem Hines on a good kickoff. We'll see it sail over his head. Out to the We'll go with the tunnel screen underneath, looking for space, and a first down for Braylon Cherry, made up for the holding penalty by taking it to the 42-yard line. 15 yards to move the chains.
Really good call by Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator for NC State. Got empty backfield. They throw quickly outside. Comes back in on the screen. Very good play.
First down for North Carolina State after they converted on 3rd down and 7. Kason Collins makes the hit at the line of scrimmage on Matt Days. Still plenty of time in this game, but can the Tar Heels stop the Wolfpack offense? Because for the most part, they've had issues today.
Well, and you can see that Kason Collins up in the line of scrimmage. This is where your coordinators make their money. Gene Chizik decided we haven't been stopping the run. We got to get more people at the line of scrimmage. So let's see on a 2nd down and long what they do. Really been impressed today, too, with Eli Drinkwitz and his plan on offense for NC State. Here's where you make your money, Adam. Got to stay on the field if you're NC State. Got to get off the field if you're North Carolina.
Days to the edge, slips one tackle. Big hit, though, from Jeremiah Clark to help stack him up for a loss of 1. 3rd down and 11 coming up for North Carolina State here.
Where this is tough for North Carolina State, you got to be aggressive on a 3rd down and 11, but you can't turn the ball over. So you need to stay on the field. 2 good plays in a row by the UNC defense.
Here we go. Big 3rd down both sides.
One back in the backfield. No, now it's empty. Could be your tunnel screen again. Could be option routes. Could be quarterback draw. Those are about your options. 3-man rush for UNC.
Pressure coming. It's still got to Ryan Finley. And Malik Carney, the 2nd leading sack man on this team, with maybe the most important North Carolina defensive play of the day so far. And now Ryan Switzer gets a shot to return a punt for North Carolina after the Carney sack.
And once again, it was a great sack coming off the corner. Looked like he was untouched. Big play for North Carolina. Now don't kick it to Switzer again. Kick it out of bounds.
A.J. Cole, not a great kick. An opportunity for Switzer. And he gets taken down at the 39-yard line by Tyler Griffiths, the long snapper. North Carolina scored on its last drive. They have decent field position to start the next one when you come back in that contest.
Got a corner blitz from the boundary.
North Carolina State bringing some heat to that side, and Jared Fernandez, big play on defense from the veteran middle linebacker. That'll be a loss of 2 officially on the play for North Carolina to start this drive.
Good job by Dave Huxtable, the defensive coordinator at NC State, because last time they played vanilla. They brought 4, they brought 3. Carolina blocked them better. That time they brought the corner blitz from the boundary, and McLeod was up near the line of scrimmage, stopped the run. Good first down stop.
See if they go through the air here. Trubisky. They'll take off, and he gets hit at the 38-yard line by Sean Boone, the safety. 3rd down coming up here.
You need to make the first down, but with over 9 minutes left, you're still going to punt unless you get it down to 4th and very short. You can't give NC State another score. Looks like NC State may be coming at them.
3rd down and 11, 4-down territory in this field position or no?
No, I don't think so. Not unless you're 4th and 1.
Okay.
4th and 1.5 too. NC State's bringing 5 with a cross stunt in the middle.
And Trubisky fires close to the sticks. Switzer makes the catch at the 46, and this is potentially 4-down territory because it's 4th and short. But is this too long for you, or do you want to punt right now?
No, I think with the short call here, you go for it, because you got to depend on your defense anyway. And that was a good throw, just short. Looks like he caught it because he's got his hands underneath, but you got to make 4th and 3 or 4 here.
Remember, the 4th down and 2 inside the 10 was the failed trick play.
Looks like they're going to play with 4 rushes.
And on the slant for Bug Howard, he has got the catch for a first down at the 48 in Wolfpack territory, and the Tar Heels stay on the field on offense.
Was a slant to a tall guy. Bug's 6'5" senior. You usually throw to the older guys when you need it on 4th down.
Well, he's off the field right now. He was hyped up. Play action fake. Trubisky steps away from the pressure, looking for Howard. And he's got it! Touchdown, North Carolina.
Well, Trubisky's shown us the last 2 drives why everybody's talking about him being a top pro prospect. A lot of pressure. He steps up. This is a perfect throw. Out of the reach of McLeod for the touchdown.
A perfectly thrown 48-yard touchdown pass from Trubisky to Bug Howard. Jonathan Jamal Howard playing his final game at Kenan Memorial Stadium. His mom, Veronica, gave him the name Bug when he was a toddler. He's able to slip through and make the grab on the Trubisky throw. Mitch Trubisky having a huge second half, trying to get this team back into it, and they're within a score for the first time since they trailed 21-0 on an early blitzkrieg from North Carolina State.
And you started so strong with Dave Doran and NC State. You've got to restart now and try to take the ball the length of the field and either get points to make it a 2-score game or keep the ball for the rest of the game.
Stan, thanks very much. It's been a muted crowd at most points of this day for North Carolina. NC State fans in red, Tar Heel fans in blue. 106th meeting all time has turned into a 7-point game in the 4th. Finley will keep it. And Ryan Finley to the 30-yard line, hit by Malik Carney on a good run of 5 yards. It's been so tight all season. Dave Doran said that this has been the most emotionally challenging year for him. Kyle Bamberg misses the 33-yard field goal try, which would have beat Clemson on the road. They end up losing in overtime. They had the chance against Boston College in a tight game. They give up the game-winning drive. And then Sean Boone had the interception in the end zone against Florida State. Frustrated, Florida State would get a Travis Rudolph touchdown to go ahead in that game on that drive. And now in another tight game as Ryan Finley goes to the sideline. McClendon. And not sure if there was some miscommunication with Stephon Lewis or Braylon Cherry, but he throws to no receiver in particular.
And Gene Chizik brought the blitz from the field with M.J. Stewart that time. Now you've got a huge 3rd down. Important play in this ball game. You're Dave Doran. You got to get confidence for your team. It's one of the things you've been lacking at the end of close games. They've played so well in this game. They've got to step up and make plays here late in this game.
Loudest it's been all day in Chapel Hill.
Looks like Gene Chizik's going to bring them.
Blitz coming for the Tar Heels. McClendon steps up, fires, and it is incomplete for Jalen Samuels. That'll bring up 4th down.
And you know, Dave Doran told us that we just got to make the layups. And here's an older player that's their 2nd leading receiver, a perfect pass. Jalen Samuels had to catch that ball. Good call, crossing route, man coverage, good protection, everything's good. Make the plays, guys. You got to make plays when they're there.
Ryan Switzer back to return. Had a decent one on his last opportunity.
Don't kick it to him. Kick it out of bounds.
Good punt by A.J. Cole, high and deep with hang time on a 52-yard boomer to flip the field inside the 20 for North Carolina. Great kick by the sophomore out of College Park, Georgia. And now with inside of 7 minutes to play, it's Mitch Trubisky.
And Mitch has been hot this second half. He has been the difference in this ball game for North Carolina's offense getting back in the ball game.
Ryan Finley headed back towards the locker room now for North Carolina State on that 1st down run. He took quite the hit from Malik Carney. So now he's going to head back. McClendon is more than capable to handle North Carolina State's offense. But right now the defense on the field against Trubisky in the heels. First down run for Elijah Hood, trying to cut back and muscle back towards the line of scrimmage. Good play by Bradley Chubb. Play action fake. Trubisky for Switzer again. Dravius Wright dragging him towards the sideline, and they'll mark him out at the 28-yard line, which was the line to gain. They pick up 15.
Dave Huxtable brought some pressure that time. He wasn't sitting back, but a really good job by the offensive line at North Carolina, especially Elijah Hood stepping up to give Switzer a chance to get open. So Hood stepped right up inside. He's cleaning up the big tackles as they're trying to get loose on the guards inside.
Now he was very close to the 28-yard line, and Switzer, who was fired up, is now kind of hopping around. Molly told us about that right foot issue that's been bothering him since earlier in this half. So he's going to come off the field.
First down.
It is a first down after the spot was looked at by this officiating crew. And Switzer, with his 13 catches, goes to the sideline now.
And Adam, if you're Dave Doran, you're telling your guys, we're ahead, guys. We've got the 7-point lead, not them. Make a play, knock a ball loose, get a turnover, and we can finish this game.
It's Jackson in motion. Pocket collapsing on Trubisky, and down he goes back at the 21-yard line. Bradley Chubb, who came right back into the game after being off the field for a couple, comes in and makes the stop. Ryan Finley coming back on the field for North Carolina State.
And this was a delayed blitz where they had 4, but they brought a 5th guy, and he came in late and got to the quarterback. Good job by the defensive front at NC State.
Second down and 17. Swing it out for T.J. Logan. Logan will work back close to the original line of scrimmage. Sean Boone drove him out of bounds. So to set up third down and about 10 here.
And what a hit by Sean Boone. He's the safety. He comes all the way across the field from the middle of the field. Big running backs turning up, and he hits Logan, and they have a collision.
Third and 10.
Again, this is where Dave Huxtable makes his money. He's showing an all-out blitz. Are they going to just rush 3 because they've done this some, or is he coming after him with everything? I think they rush 3.
And they're sending 3 defensive backs beyond the sticks. Trubisky against the 3-man rush, trying to get away. He needs the 40-yard line, and he's got it. Tried to get to the 38. He got there and more, and then a penalty marker is thrown as he gets to the sideline. Nick McLeod was chasing him down. 16-yard run
After
plus the
play,
flag.
personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
A net play of 31 and a mistake by the true freshman out of Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Well, he's frustrated because they should have it. They've got a great defensive call. They've covered everybody. He barely gets outside, and then he's hit on the sideline. And if it's probably not the quarterback, they may not call that because it's really, really close. But they're going to take care of that quarterback on the boundary.
Yeah, that was pretty close. Pressure on Trubisky. Launches for Howard. And out of bounds, incomplete. That time McLeod had the coverage on the sidelines. Very tight on Bug Howard. Good play by the defender.
UNC still got 2 timeouts with 3:52 left. They've got their entire playbook. They don't have to panic. They can run it or throw it. And if you're NC State, the best part of your team has been your defense. So, Adam, you want them out there to try to win the game. Win the game on defense if you're NC State. This is a strength of UNC against the strength of NC State down the stretch.
Blitz coming right up the middle against Trubisky. Flag is thrown as well. He'll take off running and step out at the 31-yard line. That was the line to gain, but we have to check the penalty flag at the 45.
Holding, number 68, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Lucas Crowley, the center. That's where the blitz was coming for North Carolina State, straight up the gut that time.
And these guys are worn out. It's late in the game. Sometimes you get a little bit sloppy and you just grab. And it was Moore that was coming with the pressure, and Arias Moore, one of the better defensive players for NC State. Be smart. Don't try to get it all back at once.
Second down and 20. Trubisky will throw it away. Now third down and 20. I would imagine you have 2 plays to pick up 20 yards here. I can't imagine this isn't 4-down territory. Although in a 7-point game with the timeouts, maybe that changes the way you think on the sideline.
No, you try to get it.
Okay.
Because you're down on this end of the field anyway. You've got to try to get them off. That was an excellent defensive job by NC State of seeing the screen, smelling it out. Quarterback pressure by Nelson, and Moore had the screen covered up. Good job by Trubisky throwing it away. Try to get half of it here and then try to go for 4th and 10. Bringing them all.
Yep, pressure coming. Trubisky wants it all. Looking for Poole, and it's incomplete. That would have been good enough for a first down had they connected on that play. And it's 4th down and 20.
And here's a coach's decision now. It looks like Larry Fedora's going to go for it. If you're trusting your defense, you can punt it because you've got 2 timeouts left in your pocket. Near miss. Got to make that play down the stretch. I didn't have many good calls for 4th and 20.
I don't think a lot of people do, Mac. 4th down and 20. They need the 31 of North Carolina State to stay on the field offensively. Still 3:16 to play.
And interestingly enough, NC State's coming after him.
Blitz coming. One-on-one for Howard. Dives. Did he hold on? Incomplete. It is ruled incomplete at the 21-yard line.
Ruling on the
and
field
North
is an
Carolina
incomplete
State
pass. First down.
Good pressure by NC State. I like the call by Huxtable. Ball's just a little bit overthrown. Nearly a great catch. Better coverage that time by McLeod. Your North Carolina or your UNC, you've got your 2 timeouts. Now you got to have a stop, and you'll probably have to use those timeouts.
3:10 to play, and Ryan Finley is not in the field. Molly McGrath, you have more.
That's right. Finley was going through concussion protocol. They gave him a vision test, and he was immediately taken back to the locker room for further evaluation. He obviously passed because they gave him his helmet back. We'll see if he goes in, Adam.
Yeah, it's McClendon who was on the last drive most of the way, back in at quarterback. Days runs it. Smith makes the stop for a gain of about a yard.
North Carolina.
North Carolina will use one of its 2 final timeouts here. We'll step aside. Matt Days, first 1,000-yard rusher for North Carolina State since T.A. McClendon in 2002. He's had a big day today, approaching 100 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns, and as Mac talked about, NC State needs to run out this clock. Matt Days is going to be an important cog on this drive. That's going to be the case. McClendon on the keep to the edge, down to the 45-yard line. North Carolina has 1 more timeout. And let's see if they hold on to it. No, they'll use it.
Timeout. North Carolina. That's their 3rd and final. Charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
They cannot stop the clock again. It's 3rd down and 5 for NC State. McClendon is still in at quarterback for Finley.
I think we see McClendon or Days running it.
It is McClendon. Space on that side of the field, and he's got the first down. Tackled by Donnie Miles at the 30-yard line. They move the chains.
It's a huge first down because now you've got North Carolina without any timeouts. Just kind of a quarterback counter. He steps to his left. He looks like he's going to throw the screen, comes back around, got the big left guard pulling up inside for a great block. What a call by Drinkwitz.
And Mac, now they're at the point where a first down essentially ends this game for North Carolina State. If they can get a first down here, that would essentially put this game to rest.
If you're NC State, take care of the ball. Cover it up with both arms.
Days gets the carry, hit by Smith. They cannot stop the clock.
They're going to get up slowly. They're going to walk back to the huddle. No penalties on offense. If you're UNC, you got to knock a ball loose, strip the ball loose. But you're trying to kill this clock on offense.
Wolfpack goes to a bowl game for a 3rd straight year with a win. North Carolina needed a win today and a Virginia Tech loss tomorrow to go to the ACC Championship game. If the Tar Heels lose this game, Virginia Tech is automatically going to face Clemson in the ACC title game because they have the tiebreak. Here's Days. He gets hit at the 28 by Smith. So here we go. Third down. North Carolina State with a first down can put this game away. A field goal from here would be about 45 yards, which would be the longest try for Connor Haskins, a transfer who does have a 50-yarder in his Division II career.
This is going to be down to where I think they can run it out. Just be smart. They're either going to hand it to Days or McClendon's going to keep it. You don't want to worry about the exchange, but run it down as far as you can and run the ball.
Here is Days. He gets stopped. Andre Smith on the stop. And now this is an interesting scenario because the play clock just started moving. I mean, it is almost identical with game clock and play clock. And NC State can essentially take a snap and finish off this game. And North Carolina State is going to come away with an upset win over its rivals from 23 miles away in North Carolina.
Great job by Dave Dorian and his staff today. Dave had them ready to play. He said play free, play easy, be confident. They were physical. They were the more physical team through most of this ball game. Good win for NC State.
(28-21) North Carolina State. An impressive win for the Wolfpack today. And for a third straight year, Dave Doran's team is headed into a bowl game. Larry Fedora's team will be denied a slot in the ACC Championship. On an emotional day for these two teams, for the coaching staffs, an emotional time for us as well. At ESPN, we're so lucky that we get a chance to come and watch a fun rivalry game between two teams that make it entertaining for us on the field. For Mac Brown, Molly McGrath, the outstanding, dynamic women and men of our crew here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina State comes away with a win, 28-21 over UNC. Adam Amin saying so long. College Basketball Live scoreboard coming up. Chris Cotter, Seth Greenberg, guys, take it away.